gentlemen, at this time I'd like to turn things over to Pat Montoya, who is the Not One More National President, who hails from Simi Valley, California.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you, everybody, for being here. That's a big title. I'm just a parent. I'm a father of an addict. I have 16 years recovery myself. We started this 9 years ago, Not One More, because we were seeing this happening in our community: drug addiction, mental health illness, suicides. Like Paula, it's amazing how emotional this can get when I speak in front of a crowd like this. California has the same problems. That's why I have 17 chapters across the United States that is doing this. Parents, families, and friends that are trying to help one another out there. Trying to make this something that we talk about in the community. Open ourselves up. We need to talk about this loud. We need to talk about it. Like I said, my son's on the street right now doing his thing. One thing I do is one of the rehab, I work at a rehab, I work in families recovery, is I teach parents how to walk alongside their sons or daughters or loved ones in addiction. And instead of pushing, pulling, or hovering over them, just walk together with them and show them the love. Because I tried everything else and it didn't work. But what my son sees is when I tell him I love him, he can come up to me and say the same thing, however spent out he is, and scars and abscesses and everything else, he can still come up to me and give me a hug and tell me he loves me. And that's what he does. And I do that in our community. That's what I do inside as I help out in the community. I also do lectures in colleges down to elementary schools. And I don't talk, it isn't just about not doing drugs, it's the underlying issues that we're finding out there that pushes us into drug addiction or self-medication. I teach young kids not to be bullies. Make their bed in the morning. One thing in my recovery, my first sponsor told me, you gotta make your bed every morning. I don't know if it's the same way anybody else ever did it, but that's the way I did it. And that gave me a sense of accomplishment for the day to start. 9 years ago, I didn't realize that we'd be doing this by ourselves like this. And 9 years ago, we opened up to the communities and across the United States. We heard the people screaming and yelling across the United States about this. And the police that I talked to says we can't arrest our way out of this anymore. It's failed as a police thing. It's failed as a jail thing or a prison thing. It doesn't work. We have to find other solutions to do that. As we come together as communities, that's what we do together. And we bring people like Paula in. And it's unfortunate the only way that we met is because of the loss of her son. It's amazing that the parents that I meet out there, most of my chapters are headed up by people who've lost a loved one out there. It's a sad fact that's going on right now. And we're seeing all this stuff happening to our loved ones out there in our communities. And it's destroying our communities. I took a ride through your community yesterday and I seen what a small town could be. Like watching the people in this community, watching I call them the lost souls. People out there walking around, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, not feeling the love, not knowing where their next fix is going to come from. See, that's my pit. I've been to the bottom parts of any city in Southern California looking for my child as I try to find him. And I found him pushing a grocery cart the last time I found him. With no shoes, just the shorts he was wearing and the shirt he had on his back. And the first thing I did was got out of my car and I gave him a hug and I told him I loved him. He came back with me. And even that didn't stop him from his addiction, but what it showed is that we loved him. And we try to do that. And as a community, that's all I ask you guys to do, is open up. Say it out loud, not one more. That's all we have to say is not one more. We don't want to have another grieving parent out there. We don't want to have another lost child out there. We don't want to have another lost loved one out there. So I want to thank you guys for opening up your community to me and Not One More and Paula. Thank you very much for putting this together and the help that you did. And it's amazing that what you have done in this last year. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you guys.
gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to turn things over to Justin Ponton, who is the founder and executive director at Newness of Life.